Okay, this is Mr. Pruis again. This is part 2 of day 3 introduction to ArcGIS Online. We're still working with earthquake data, but we're going to ask a spatial question in part 2. We want to know how many earthquakes are within 100 miles of Anchorage, Alaska. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn off the earthquakes just for a second, just because I want to find Anchorage. And it's easier without that forest of earthquake dots getting in the way. So we're going to filter world cities. So under world cities, go to the filter tool, the yellow sheet with a funnel on it. Click the filter world cities, open that up. You'll see filtering world cities. And we're going to create our search here, or our filter. Change this to city name. Change the first column to city name. We're going to leave the second column as is. And the value field here is Anchorage, so type in Anchorage. Okay, make sure you've spelled it correctly, Anchorage. And we're going to apply the filter and zoom to it. Now, when it zooms, it like zooms into your feet. It's really close. So let's back out a bit until we can recognize it. You'll start to see houses. See that? Those are streets and houses. So it zooms way in. So let's just keep backing out. And since we're interested in an area of 100 miles from the city, it's also useful to use this measuring tool. We can change this to length in miles and just like, let's see how far this is. That's only 26 miles. So we can double click, close this tool. So we got to go back out some more. There we go. That's good. It's good for now. And so let's move on to the next step. We've oriented our map with Anchorage in the middle. And let's go ahead and turn on the earthquakes again. It's a very interesting pattern. You can see that there's a progression from shallower earthquakes on the east or the right side of the map towards deeper on the left side. If you took the Geosystems class, you know why that's happening. All right. So now we're going to click the analysis button here. And this one is the first time using this tool. Click the far box on the right and it'll see perform analysis. It's like a box with some colors and 4 dots inside of it. Click the analysis box and then you're presented with some more analysis options. And it's a pretty good set of tools here. We're going to find locations, and we want to find existing locations. And we have global earthquakes layer. We don't want that to be cities. We want it to be the earthquakes. Okay, we want global earthquakes. Build your query here. So add an expression. We want to that are within. Here's our query item over here on the right. Earthquakes that are within a distance of, and then we just put in 100 miles from world cities. Now you might think, why aren't we having to type in Anchorage? Because when you select out a single city, that's the only one it's going to apply this query to. Okay. Ready, set, go. And there's our query. And our result layer is going to be called finding locations. I might change that. Change that to earthquakes within 100 miles. And and then run the analysis. It's still thinking. Takes a while. I'm going to let this record so you understand that it takes a little bit of time. There we go. Okay, so now we can zoom in a bit and recenter it on there. Now we can turn off the global earthquakes, and what we have now are just the earthquakes that are within 100 miles of Anchorage, Alaska.